say a man who says he's yam and buy pottage has lost both food and pride. My people, isn't that the story of Africa? We sit on the oceans of oil, yet our lamps go dark. We export gold, yet our people sleep hungry. We dig out diamonds, yet our children dig through garbage. How can a continent so rich walk barefoot? How can nations blessed with the black gold live in darkness and debt? We export crude oil but import fuel. We sell cocoa but import chocolate. We mine gold but import jewelry. We have land, yet we import food. Tell me, how can a man live in a house full of treasures but still beg outside his own gate? This, my friend, is the paradox that has chained Africa for decades. We export wealth but import poverty. But this story didn't start today, and to understand how we got here, we must first open the pages of our economic history. Today, we are going to peel back the layers of Africa's greatest economic tragedy. How we became suppliers of raw materials but buyers of finished dreams. We will uncover the psychology behind dependence, the politics of underdevelopment, and the economic slavery hidden beneath trade deals and the foreign investments. By the end of this talk, you will understand why Africa's wealth doesn't stay in Africa, how corruption, greed, and poor planning turn blessings into burdens, and most importantly, how we, you, and I can rewrite this story from exporting crude to exporting value. Let me tell you a story that mirrors the destiny of many African nations. Once upon a time, in the oil-rich region of the Niger Delta, there was a fisherman named Tari. Every morning, Tari went to the river to fish. But one day, his net came up oily, not wet. He ran home shouting, "God has blessed us. There's oil in our water." Soon, big men in suits came with machines and the promises. They dug, drilled, and built refineries, but far away in another land. Years passed, the oil flowed. Billions were made, but Tari's children stopped fishing, not because they got rich, but because the river died. The wealth of his land became the poverty of his people. Tari's story is the story of Africa, a continent where the blessing of the soil has become a curse to the soul. Now let's break it down why this keeps happening, not by chance, but by design. It all began with the colonial economics. Europe didn't just colonize Africa's people, they colonized her resources and mindset. They built an economic design for extraction, not expansion. They took raw materials cheaply, refined them abroad, and sold them back at premium prices. And after independence, many African leaders kept the same system because it benefited the elite while starving the masses. So today, Africa remains the world's raw material warehouse, where we sell cheap and buy expensive. Nigeria exports crude oil but imports petrol. Ghana exports cocoa but imports chocolate. Congo exports cobalt but imports smartphones. We dig the ground, but others build empires. And as we kept exporting our wealth, we began importing something far more dangerous, and that is dependency. Dependency became our new master. We depend on the West for technology, on China for infrastructure, on IMF for loans, and on imported goods for survival. Our leaders travel abroad for healthcare, and students go abroad for education. Our youth go abroad for jobs, and our money follows them. It is like carrying a leaking bucket. No matter how much we pour in, it never fills up. Instead of building refineries, we build excuses. Instead of investing in industry, we invest in politics. And so year after year, we remain beggars, sitting on barrels of gold. But the tragedy deepens because this poverty isn't just economic, it is psychological. The greatest slavery is mental slavery. When a nation believes it cannot survive without others, it stops trying. When leaders see foreign approval as success, they forget national progress. And that is exactly what is happening in Africa today. We have been conditioned to believe that foreign is better. Foreign cars, foreign food, foreign dreams, even our raw resources are seen as valuable only when refined elsewhere. It is like a man who grows yam but waits for his neighbor to roast it before he eats. That's why our young people dream more of Japan than of building homegrown industries. Because we have been taught that prosperity lives abroad, not within. But make no mistake, the problem may be deep, but the solution lies within our reach. There is a new generation rising, thinkers, innovators, builders, people who no longer see Africa as a market, but as a maker. Across Lagos, Nairobi, Kigali, and Accra, young Africans are refining creativity, not crude. They are building fintechs, manufacturing startups, and the digital economies from scratch. This is the Africa that refuses to keep exporting poverty. This is the Africa that says enough of selling raw and buying regret. Because the day we start refining our oil, processing our food, and manufacturing our goods, that's the day we start refining our destiny. So what can you, watching me right now, do to be part of this revolution? 1. Buy local, think global, support African-made products. Every purchase is a vote for independence. Number 2, hold leaders accountable. Demand investment in local industry, not foreign contracts. 3, educate yourself on economics. Learn how trade policies affect your life. Don't let ignorance be your chain. Number 4, empower the youth. Mentor, fund, or collaborate with young innovators. Number 5, add value where you are. Don't just consume, create. Don't just complain, contribute. Because change is not magic, it is the sum of consistent small actions done with purpose. What are the solutions? Africa's salvation won't come from foreign aid. It will come from African minds, African hands, and the African hearts. We will turn our raw materials into refined products. We turn our raw potential into prosperity. When we start exporting finished goods instead of crude, we will stop importing poverty. The solution is simple but powerful. Industrialize, diversify, and dignify our production. Let's build industries, not excuses. Let's create value chains, not dependency chains. Now, because when Africa begins to produce, the world will begin to respect her. If this message struck a chord in your heart, then don't let it end here. Like this video, share it, and drop a comment below. I believe in Africa's word for Africans. Follow and subscribe for the next episode in this series, and get your copy of my book, How Africa Was Trapped in the Global Economy. Together, let's spark a movement of informed citizens who demand value for our resources and accountability from our leaders. Because silence keeps us poor, but awareness sets us free. Now, let's end with a question that must echo in every heart. If Africa can feed the world, fuel the world, and power the world, why can't Africa feed, fuel, and power herself? Think about it. How long shall we keep stealing gold and buying dust? How long shall we keep digging wealth and burying wisdom? A man who says his harvest to buy crumbs is not cursed, is careless. Africa, wake up. The oil under our soil is not a curse, it is a call to responsibility. Let's stop exporting our blessings and importing our burdens. Let's refine not just our crude, but our conscience. Let's build an African where wealth circulates, not escapes. Because the day we stop exporting crude, we will stop importing poverty. And that will be the dawn of a truly rich Africa. Thank you for watching this video, and I believe you have learned a lot from this video as an African. Thank you, and please share this video. Make sure you share it. Don't allow it to stay with you yourself alone. Thank you, and God bless you.